What's up, everybody? Super Dorks fan here for Mustang Weekly Update number 14 on this Friday. So, what's new with the Mustang? Well, first, I want to just say about what's new with me. I normally don't talk about my personal life on this channel. I've kind of dabbled in vlogs, and I may continue to do more vlogs about other things outside of cars in the future. But anyway, it's pretty big news, so I figured that you guys would be interested in hearing it, and that is that I got engaged this past week. Last Thursday night, actually, I got engaged, and so yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, you already have known for the past week. I've posted up pictures on there and everything, but yeah, obviously very excited, very awesome news, and so all kinds of good stuff to come this year, including stuff in my personal life, like getting married and all that other good stuff. So yeah, obviously very excited about that, and I know some of you have asked for me to do a vlog or something introducing her, and I'm probably going to do something like that at some point here reasonably soon. Just kind of figure out like what I want to do, and I want to try and incorporate her into the videos a little bit, because she is a big help in a lot of the videos. She's done lots of the rolling shots for me, and she's helped out with other filming things, and you know, she's actually given me some thoughts in some of the cars that I've reviewed. She's given me her perspective of things that I never would have even noticed, that, you know, so she's been very helpful, and I want to incorporate her more in the future as well. So let me know your thoughts on all that stuff, though. I'm really curious to hear what you guys would like to see in regards to vlogs about my personal life, or if you're interested in that, that's fine. If you're not, that's totally fine too. I understand this is a car channel, not a lifestyle channel or anything like that, but just throwing some ideas out there. I always like brainstorming with you guys and getting some of your ideas and thoughts on what kind of videos you want to see next, because I do this channel for you guys, so I definitely want to do videos you'd be interested in. But as far as the Mustang goes, getting back to that, nothing new, just going well still. It hasn't been too much intense snow this week, so no more snow thoughts really, but like I said, I've kind of beat that horse to death over the past 3 or 4 weeks, talking about snow every single week. What I want to talk about, though, is, you know, every once in a while, like now it's actually sunny, so it's not quite as dreary, and it's getting me looking forward to summer and spring a whole lot more, and it's got me thinking more about the mods I want to do. I mean, obviously, especially now that I'm going to be doing wedding and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot more expenses, so I'm not sure how many of these big things I'll be able to do in the near future, but I have a few cool small things that actually haven't been done yet on the 2015 Mustang that I want to try out on mine, and have some really cool things that I think would make this car kind of set it apart from all the other 2015 Mustangs, and give it a little bit more of an aggressive look, and some cool things that I think could be improved that I wish would have come from the factory on this car. And I won't give away too much now, but hopefully it won't be too long of a wait. I'm hoping once it's warm enough to install the stuff, which will be, you know, hopefully late March, early April, so maybe in 2 months or so, I'll get that stuff on there, and you can check it out, and you know, working as well on sponsorships and things like that for some of the other larger items, and so that's still ongoing. We'll see you know, what ends up happening with all that stuff, but yeah, so very exciting though, and I think, you know, that's always the best way to really I guess become attached to your car, is by customizing it. And I mean, I love this car from the factory, but it still is identical to any other 2015 Mustang from the factory, and I want to make it my own. And so I'm just daydreaming all the time about different, you know, ways to make it unique, and I think I came up with some really cool ideas. So won't give away anything just yet, but you guys will know soon enough. Sorry to be a tease, but yeah, I want to try these things out first and see how they do. So yeah, but that's it for all the updates on the car and everything else. I'll send it back to me at the news desk for this week's news. Right, for this week's news, the first thing is a car that I already talked about on video back on Tuesday, and that is the brand new Ford Focus RS. And if you want to hear all my thoughts on it, I made a 9-minute long video. You can click here to watch it and get all the details and my thoughts on the Focus RS. But in short, it's going to be amazing, over 320 horsepower, and it's going to be pretty epic. So, some new news though that came about this week because of the release of the Focus RS is about there being a possible Fiesta RS, and so Theo Chin and Christoane Automotive, they have these renders of what a Fiesta RS would look like, and obviously they just took stuff out of the Ford parts bin, which is probably what Ford would end up doing to, you know, make one of these, and it looks awesome. I think it looks really cool, and they're saying that, you know, if they were to do this, it would probably either just have a boosted version of the existing motor, or they would just do the Focus ST engine, which is like 250 some horsepower. Throw that in here, give it a nice 50 horsepower bump, and of course the way that they would differentiate it from any other modified Fiesta ST is that they would put all-wheel drive in it, and that would be the signature thing, of course, of the RS. Be all-wheel drive, more power, and it'd be one little rocket for sure. So fingers crossed that happens. I have a source that's told me this is basically confirmed. I mean, I can't say anything absolutely official, but I think there's a very, very, very good chance that a Fiesta ST will happen, and will happen fairly soon. The Focus RS is supposed to come sometime on sale in 2016, so it'll be a 2017 model, so still a little ways off, not immediately happening, but you know, so I'd say a Fiesta, you know, will be coming eventually. Right, so for some more confirmed cars that actually were released this week officially, and the first one is the awesome new Porsche Cayman GT4, which I've been talking about for the past several weeks with spy shots and stuff. Well, now we see the whole thing in the flesh in several different colors, and we have all the details on it. So this one has a 3.8 liter flat six engine, and it's doing 385 horsepower, a 0 to 60 time of 4.2 seconds, and the best thing, it's only available in a manual. So, you know, Porsche, you thought everyone was just, you know, oh no, the GT3 is only PDK, and, you know, here's the death of the manuals from Porsche. But obviously, they're still committed to the manual transmission, because this one has a very awesome 6-speed manual, and that's the way it's only going to be offered, they're saying. So, hardcore GT4 version of the Cayman is basically one of the best things to happen this year. One of the other best things to happen this year is Ferrari's new debut that they just debuted the same day as the Focus RS, and I think it kind of was overshadowed a little bit, but it's the Ferrari 488 GTB, which is just an updated version of the 458, but it's not just mild updates. This is heavily updated, and the big news here is that it has a new engine that's turbocharged, and so it's going to be a pretty healthy bump in power. So they're saying that it's going to have 661 horsepower and 560 pounds-feet of torque. The downside of this is that this engine, since it's now turbocharged, the red line has been lowered from 9,000 RPMs to 8,000 RPMs. So that's a little bit sad. Well, it's not quite as screaming, but an 8,000 RPM redline's still nothing to complain about. Still sounds like a proper Ferrari in the little teaser video that they posted up. Sounds amazing. I think it looks amazing too. It has some elements of the LaFerrari in it, but has those big rear quarter panel scoops to, you know, feed those intercoolers for the turbos, and I think it looks really spectacular. The back end, everything. I think that is a home run from Ferrari. That looks amazing. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing performer. They're saying 0 to 62 miles per hour takes 3 seconds flat. So we're talking serious, serious performance. I mean, that'll keep up with all the best supercars in the world right now. So that's impressive. Yeah, that's going to officially debut at the Geneva Motor Show, but Ferrari was kind enough to give us the pictures just the other day. Another awesome car, this one just teased again, and that is the McLaren 675 LT, which I first talked about last week. LT stands for long tail, and this is going to be the race prepped version of the McLaren 650S that's obviously enhanced. And they released a teaser of what it sounds like the past couple of days, and it sounds amazing. It actually doesn't sound like a McLaren anymore. It sounds a lot like a Ferrari, which I'm not complaining about, because I think some of the Ferrari engines are some of the best sounding engines in the world. And so for McLaren to sound more like a Ferrari, I think is a good thing. Although the McLaren doesn't sound bad, I prefer the Ferrari sound, and that sounds like a nice blend of both. So can't wait to see this whole thing in the flesh. It's going to officially unveil at the Geneva Motor Show. We may get a leak beforehand, or they may post up pictures beforehand, but for now we just have a little teaser of the back end there and what it sounds like, and I can't wait for more. Now for some more ordinary news. Back to normal affordable cars. First is that if you watch the Super Bowl and the commercials over the past week here, you'll know that Nissan unveiled the new Maxima officially in their new commercial, which is actually a really cool commercial, and it features, you know, a guy that's a race car driver for a GTR, and he has a son, and it's cool. Very nice commercial, actually. One of the best ones, I think, of the Super Bowl. Anyway, at the end they show the new Maxima, and I think it's really good looking. I mean, with all the Camrys and boring sedans out there, and even Nissan's own Altima, which is a snooze fest, this thing looks really actually exciting. It's the first exciting mid-size or full-size sedan that I've seen in a while, and that looks really awesome. I think it's going to be really cool. We only have 2 shots, no views of the interior or anything yet, but from those 2 shots, looks pretty awesome. I can't wait to see more. In other exciting Nissan news, this, I have no idea what's going to come from this, but there's a report here saying that Nissan is going to debut a new Nismo model at the Chicago Motor Show coming up here soon. I don't know what it could be, because I mean they have Nismo models of a lot of their models now. So the first thing that jumped into my mind was a Sentra Nismo or a Sentra SER version that would actually be an impressive performer. And maybe, just maybe, they could incorporate some all-wheel drive, make it a good amount faster, and they could be fighting the Focus RS and all that good stuff. And on top of that, they could be first out of the gate, because Dodge is going to be coming out with the Dart SRT4, I believe, in 2017. So if Nissan hurries up and comes out with a sweet Nismo model of the Sentra, maybe we'd be back to the good old days of all these, normal small sedans having performance versions. It'd be great. So exciting to hear that, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens in Chicago. Some other Nissan Group news is that Infiniti has just teased the new QX30 concept. So there was a concept, I think, last year that they teased. This is an updated concept, which I'm assuming is closer to production, but still a concept. Looks great from the one teaser image we have here. That's also going to be revealed at Geneva. And, these little crossovers are all the rage right now, and that Infiniti one looks pretty good. So cool to see that. And remember how just last week I was talking about how GMC is considering a Jeep Wrangler competitor, and everyone's trying to get on Jeep's turf because apparently Jeep's a super hot thing here in America and everyone wants to be Jeep all of a sudden. And that goes for Kia as well. Kia has just teased an all-wheel drive Trailster concept, which is going to be a Kia Soul that they've modified. They've got raised up a little bit. It's more aggressive looking. It's going to have like a canvas roof, and it's going to have an electric all-wheel drive system. So even though this sounds kind of weird and concept-y, this actually could very well be a production model or something very close to a production model, because obviously this is a market that Kia wants to be in. They have the Soul, which is fairly well liked still, and I think giving it this kind of treatment would make it look a whole lot like the new Jeep Renegade that's just coming out in these like sub $20,000 tiny little crossover segment. This thing could be really popular, especially having all-wheel drive that it hasn't had yet, and I think that would really be effective for Kia to help combat the Jeep Renegade sales. So that'll be coming out of Chicago as well, the full thing. We just have a little teaser image right now, but interesting to see that. And I normally don't cover cars that don't come to America that much, but it was funny, actually, whenever Ford was unveiling the Focus RS, Opel was actually unveiling their Corsa OPC, which is going to be coming out at the Geneva Motor Show, and they gave us all the pictures of it. And again, Opels get brought over as Buicks a lot of times, so maybe we'll see some form of this as some hot hatch Buick. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. I think it's probably not kind of Buick's targeted audience, but very cool to see that. I think it looks pretty cool, and so you Europeans, you have another option. If the Focus RS or the Fiesta or any of that isn't good enough, you can check out this Opel. It's always good to have more competition. And the last 2 stories here that I want to talk about, first, they're both about Mazda. The first one is that, it's been confirmed that the new Miata is going to have 155 horsepower here in the States. And a lot of people are saying, wow, that's not a whole lot of power, but it's a very small car. But anyway, Mazda's already considering making a more powerful version, especially because they know that Americans like their power. And so it's kind of like Scion and Super, where they're contemplating 2 different routes. They can go and just turbocharge the existing motor and make a Mazda speed version that way, or just introduce a larger engine version that'll have more power, more torque, and won't have any turbo lag or any of that kind of worries. And again, nothing confirmed, but they're just considering a new Miata. I'm sure if they did do a Mazda speed version, it wouldn't be for several years, so I wouldn't wait for that one. But it's cool that they're working on that. Another thing that they are still working on is the new Mazda Speed 3. I know everyone's all excited about the Focus and stuff, and a few of you actually commented and said, well, what about the Mazda Speed 3 coming out? Because that's rumored to be all-wheel drive as well, be stupidly fast, and the new Mazda 3 is a gorgeous looking car, so adding aggressive aero onto that car, that's going to be a stunner, I think, in many ways. So that's another one to keep an eye out for. Exciting times we're living in. All kinds of sweet, awesome hot hatches and all kinds of awesome sports cars and supercars. Good stuff. So anyway, that's it for all the news this week, guys. So send it back to me in the car. Alright, so I'll leave you guys with a nice little acceleration here, like I always do. A little bit of traffic again, but here we go. Wheel spin, wheel spin, wheel spin. These snow tires. Oh, they get loose. It's so fun. Oh, now the sun's really bright. Oh, man. But yeah, they're definitely making the car more tail happy. It reminds me of the BRZ. Love this thing. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Take care.